Here we go again. This video is not going to get monetized because any time I mention John, he who shall not be named, I just get demonetized. But apparently John Venables is getting another parole hearing. Now, I did a video on his last one, and I feel like it was very recent. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's why when I saw this, I was like, again? Like it's been very, very recent, and I don't know what the outcome of it's going to be because I don't know if it's happened yet. One of the killers of toddler James Bulger has been granted a parole hearing, the parole board has confirmed. John Venables served 8 years for the 2-year-old's murder in 1993 and was freed on licence, along with Robert Thompson, and both of them were given lifelong anonymity. See, if you go to one of the most popular videos on my channel, actually, you're not allowed to see this man's face. Basically, they were given like lifelong anonymity orders where you're not allowed to know their name. Like, even if I give you a physical description of what John Venables currently looks like, I could get arrested for it. If I tell you where he's living or give you basically any identifiable information whatsoever, I'm breaking the law, because I would be breaking this court injunction that was passed when he was released from prison. So basically, yeah, it's complicated. I know what he looks like. I know what he looks like. I've seen the pictures. The pictures are, if you're a Yank, go nuts. Doesn't matter. But if you're British, avoid it because you'll get into trouble. But I've seen what he looks like, and I know what he looks like. And he looks like a pedo because he is. But in 2017, Venables was jailed again for having child abuse images on his computer. A parole hearing will take place in November, so it's happening in November. A spokesman said parole board decisions are solely focused on what risk a prisoner could represent to the public if released, and whether that risk is manageable in the community. A panel will carefully examine a huge range of evidence, including details of the original crime and any evidence of behaviour change, as well as explore the harm done and impact the crime has had on the victims. James Bulger was tortured and killed by Venables and Thompson, who were both aged 10 at the time, after they took him from a shopping centre in Bootle, Merseyside. If you're British, you know about this case. You know about it. I can remember, but even though I was like a little child, I can remember this being in the news for years after it happened. And basically in the Merseyside area, this is still a very hot and conscientious, very, not conscientious, contentious topic. Basically, if you're down there, don't mention it. Don't talk about it. It gets people riled up. Even to this day, it gets people riled up. In 2010, while living under a new name, Venables was jailed after child abuse images were found on his laptop. He was released after serving 3 years and given a second new identity at massive cost to the taxpayer. However, in 2017, he was sent back to prison for 40 months after more abuse images were discovered on his computer. Venables had an application to be freed rejected in 2020 following an assessment of his case. That feels recent to me. Was that back when I covered this? I'm sorry, just that felt very recent to me. The parole board earlier said an oral hearing was listed for a parole review. The spokesman said members would read and digest hundreds of pages of reports in the lead up to the hearing. Evidence from witnesses, including probation officers, psychiatrists and psychologists, officials supervising the offender in prison, as well as victim personal statements are then given at the hearing, he said. The prisoner and witnesses would then be questioned at length, he said, adding, protecting the public is our #1 priority. The hearing is scheduled for 14th and 15th November, and the decision on whether prisoners can be released is usually made within 14 days. I don't think he's going to get released. He's reoffended far too many times. Now, Robert Thompson, albeit still an absolute grotesque piece of shit for what he did, although there's loads of debate over who did what to James Bulger, but it seems that John Venables was like the head honcho in that situation and was encouraging it and doing most of the torture, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't know. The only people who really know is both those boys. But Robert Thompson has vanished. As far as I'm aware, he's never been in trouble again, never gotten in any... He's like... Yeah, apparently people aren't even really... Some people are looking for him. Some people still want to find him. But... he's a ghost now. He's completely gone. He's never been in trouble since. John Venables, however, has been caught being a beast far too many times, to the point where clearly, like, he has those opinions of children, where I've got a feeling, right, I don't know, it's never been explicitly stated, but I've got a feeling that those pictures on his computer were violent in nature, and I think that's just the type of person he is. He did that to James Bulger, and then I believe he had violent images of children on his computer. I believe that that's what happened. So hopefully this gets rejected, because he's clearly still a massive danger to the public. However, on the other hand, he blurts out who he really is every time. He's fucked up his own secret identity so many times, and there are pictures of what he looks like now out there. Like, they're out there. You can see what he looks like. So, you know, if we put him out there and he fucks up again, you know, it'll just kind of take care of itself, you know.